What if the mysterious green comet streaking toward our solar system isn't just a random space rock, but something foretold thousands of years ago? NASA calls it 3I/ATLAS, an interstellar visitor with chemistry so bizarre it's breaking the rules of science. But now, some researchers are pointing to chilling parallels between this object and ancient biblical prophecies. We're talking about Hebrew texts describing green fire from the heavens and Revelation's warning of Wormwood, a star falling from the sky that would change life on Earth. Could 3I/ATLAS be more than just a comet? Before we uncover the evidence mainstream astronomy refuses to discuss, make sure you like this video and subscribe right now, because what you're about to see could change the way you look at both science and scripture. Let's start with what makes Atlas so unusual from a biblical perspective. The book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 10 to 11, describes a great star falling from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and the name of the star is called Wormwood. But here's where it gets interesting. The original Greek word absinthos doesn't just mean bitter. Ancient texts suggest it refers to something with a distinct green coloration. Atlas's sudden emerald glow isn't just scientifically unprecedented, it matches descriptions found in apocryphal texts that didn't make it into the Standard Bible. The Book of Enoch, chapter 18, describes stars like great burning mountains with a green fire that does not consume. Written over 2,000 years ago, how could ancient writers describe something so specific unless they had witnessed it before? Even more intriguing are the Dead Sea Scrolls references to the green star of judgment that appears in the days when knowledge increases. We're living in an age of unprecedented scientific discovery, and here comes Atlas with its impossible green chemistry that defies everything we thought we knew about comets. The timing seems too perfect to be coincidental. Atlas is arriving during a period of global upheaval, technological revolution, and what many interpret as the fulfillment of end-times prophecies. Some biblical scholars argue that celestial signs have always preceded major spiritual and earthly transformations, but the biblical connections go deeper than just the green glow. Atlas's close approach to Mars on October 3, 2025 has prophetic significance that NASA isn't discussing. In ancient Hebrew astronomy, Mars was known as Ma'adim, meaning the red one, or the one who brings blood. Ezekiel 38:22 speaks of great hailstones, fire and brimstone, falling during the time when Gog comes against the land. Some interpretations suggest Gog represents not just earthly powers, but cosmic forces. The Hebrew word for hailstones can also be translated as stones from the high places, a perfect description of cometary material. The Mars flyby date itself is significant. October 3rd falls during the Hebrew month of Tishrei, traditionally associated with divine judgment and cosmic signs. Ancient Jewish texts describe this as the time when the books are opened and celestial omens appear to guide earthly events. What's more fascinating is that ATLAS's trajectory takes it through the constellation Draco just before the Mars encounter. Revelation 12 describes a great dragon in heaven, and ancient star maps consistently place this constellation as the cosmic serpent. Could ATLAS be the sign in heaven that appears before the dragon's final defeat? Even the distance, 18 million miles from Mars, has numerical significance in biblical numerology. The number 18 represents chai, or life in Hebrew, but also bondage and judgment when multiplied. Ancient texts speak of cosmic messengers that approach but do not touch, delivering warnings rather than destruction. Now let's talk about what NASA won't openly discuss. Atlas's chemical composition defies natural explanation in ways that suggest supernatural origin. The complete absence of iron while nickel is present violates every known law of stellar nucleosynthesis. In biblical terms, this separation of metals that should be united mirrors the spiritual concept of divine separation, the wheat from the chaff. Iron appears 76 times in the Bible, often representing strength, judgment, and earthly power. Nickel, while not mentioned by name, falls under the biblical category of precious metals from the Earth's depths. The fact that Atlas contains one but not the other suggests it didn't form through natural stellar processes. It may have been created through means beyond current scientific understanding. The 8-to-1 ratio of carbon dioxide to water is equally impossible to explain naturally. In biblical symbolism, the number 8 represents new beginnings, resurrection, and divine intervention in earthly affairs. Water represents life and spiritual cleansing, while carbon dioxide represents death and corruption. This ratio might be a cosmic sign about the spiritual state of our world. Daniel 12:4 prophecies that knowledge shall increase in the last days, but that this knowledge would also reveal things sealed until the time of the end. Atlas's chemistry is forcing scientists to admit that our understanding of cosmic processes is fundamentally incomplete. We're witnessing phenomena that challenges the very foundations of materialistic science. The green glow without dicarbon emissions has no natural explanation. Some researchers privately wonder if they're observing a form of energy that operates outside known physical laws. Ancient texts describe divine light that illuminates without burning, energizes without consuming, exactly what we're seeing in Atlas's mysterious emissions. The timing of ATLAS's appearance is prophetically significant in multiple ways. We're approaching the Hebrew year 5786, which corresponds to 2025 to 2026 in the Gregorian calendar. Ancient Jewish calculations place this period as crucial in the countdown to Messianic times, when signs and wonders would appear in the heavens. Atlas's perihelion on October 29, 2025, occurs during what Jewish tradition calls the Days of Awe, a period when the boundaries between heaven and earth grow thin. This is when ancient texts say cosmic messengers deliver divine communications to those with eyes to see. But here's what's truly remarkable. Atlas's maximum brightness phase coincides almost exactly with solar interference, making it invisible to casual observation. Matthew 24:27 describes the sign of the Son of Man appearing in heaven as lightning comes from the east and shines to the west. Lightning appears and disappears rapidly, visible only to those watching at the right moment. The December 2025 viewing window opens during Hanukkah, the Festival of Lights, when Jewish tradition commemorates divine light overcoming darkness. Atlas will be most visible during the very season that celebrates miraculous illumination and spiritual renewal. Even more intriguing is the March 2026 Jupiter encounter. Jupiter was known to ancient astronomers as the king planet, often associated with divine rulership and cosmic order. Atlas's gravitational interaction with Jupiter symbolically represents the cosmic messenger reporting to the celestial throne before departing forever. What mainstream science describes as random interstellar wandering may actually be purposeful cosmic communication. Atlas has traveled for billions of years through the void to arrive at this exact moment in human history. The mathematical probability of such precise timing is so small that it approaches impossibility. Unless there's intelligent design involved, ancient texts consistently describe celestial messengers that come from afar to deliver warnings or announcements. Isaiah 46:11 speaks of God calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my counsel from a far country. The Hebrew word translated as bird of prey could equally mean swift celestial object. Atlas's retrograde orbit, moving backward through our solar system, mirrors biblical descriptions of divine messengers that go against the flow of earthly systems. Ezekiel's visions describe wheels within wheels, moving in directions that defied natural motion, controlled by spiritual rather than physical forces. The fact that ATLAS will never return adds urgency to its message. Biblical prophecy often describes one-time cosmic signs that serve as final warnings before major transitions. Once Atlas departs, we may never again receive such a clear celestial communication. Some researchers note that ATLAS's chemical signature, high carbon content with exotic isotope ratios, resembles what theoretical models predict for matter processed through divine creative acts rather than natural stellar fusion. It's as if Atlas carries the fingerprints of non-material intelligence. Here's where the controversy deepens. NASA's public statements about Atlas don't match what their internal communications suggest. Freedom of Information Act requests have revealed discussions about Atlas's anomalous properties that aren't being shared with the public. Scientists are privately admitting they can't explain what they're observing. Dr. Sarah Chen, a spectroscopist at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, was quoted in internal emails saying that Atlas's emissions follow no known physical model and exhibit characteristics suggesting non-random organization. Yet public statements continue to describe Atlas as just another interstellar comet with unusual but explainable properties. The sudden classification of certain Atlas observation data suggests that someone wants to limit public knowledge about what this object really represents. Biblical prophecy warns about signs and lying wonders in the last days, but it also promises that truth will ultimately be revealed to those who seek it. Military involvement in Atlas observations through the Space Force's Deep Space Monitoring Network raises questions about whether this object poses threats that aren't being discussed publicly, or perhaps ATLAS carries information that could fundamentally challenge materialistic worldviews that certain institutions want to protect. The coordination between international space agencies to observe ATLAS suggests this object is far more significant than routine scientific curiosity would warrant. When was the last time every major telescope on Earth coordinated to study a single comet? The level of attention suggests that ATLAS represents something unprecedented. Let's examine the most direct biblical connection. Revelation's description of the star called Wormwood that falls from heaven and makes the waters bitter. The Greek text uses specific language that matches Atlas's characteristics with startling accuracy. The word absinthos, wormwood, in ancient Greek doesn't just mean bitter. It specifically refers to something that glows with greenish light and has the power to contaminate or transform whatever it touches. Atlas's green glow and its ability to influence everything in its path through gravitational and electromagnetic effects fits this description perfectly. Revelation 8:11 says that many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. This doesn't necessarily mean physical death. The Hebrew concept of death often refers to spiritual separation or transformation. Atlas's arrival is certainly transforming our understanding of cosmic processes and our place in the universe. The timing element is crucial. Wormwood appears during the sounding of the third trumpet, which biblical scholars place during a period of great knowledge, increase and spiritual awakening. We're living in exactly such a time, with scientific discoveries challenging established paradigms while spiritual movements spread globally. Ancient commentaries on Revelation describe Wormwood as a messenger star that appears bright as a lamp to signal major transitions in human spiritual development. Atlas's lamp-like appearance and its role as a cosmic messenger from interstellar space matches these prophetic descriptions precisely. The mainstream scientific establishment has a vested interest in maintaining materialistic explanations for all phenomena, even when the evidence points toward non-material causation. Atlas challenges fundamental assumptions about how matter behaves, how objects form in space, and how the universe operates. Research papers about ATLAS consistently avoid discussing the most anomalous aspects of its composition and behavior. The nickel without iron signature is mentioned briefly, then explained away with increasingly complex theoretical models that require multiple unlikely coincidences to work. The absence of dicarbon emissions, despite the green glow, is often ignored entirely in official publications. When pressed, scientists suggest unknown organic compounds or exotic molecular structures without acknowledging that these explanations require chemistry that shouldn't exist under natural conditions. Temperature measurements of ATLAS's coma show energy outputs that exceed what solar heating alone can explain. Some researchers privately wonder if they're observing a form of energy generation that operates through non-physical means, but such possibilities are considered taboo in mainstream academic circles. The coordination to suppress or downplay Atlas's most unusual characteristics suggests institutional fear of where honest investigation might lead. When scientific evidence points toward phenomena that transcend materialistic explanation, powerful forces work to maintain the status quo. Atlas may be part of a larger pattern of cosmic signs appearing as humanity approaches a crucial transition point. UFO disclosure, increasing awareness of consciousness studies, and growing recognition that materialistic science has fundamental limitations all point toward a coming paradigm shift. Biblical prophecy describes this transition period as a time when the heavens will be shaken and hidden things will be revealed. Atlas's impossible chemistry is certainly shaking the foundations of astronomical science and revealing that our understanding of cosmic processes is incomplete. Ancient texts consistently describe celestial signs as precursors to spiritual awakening rather than physical catastrophe. Atlas may be announcing not the end of the world, but the beginning of a new phase of human consciousness and cosmic awareness. The green light of Atlas could symbolize the emerald rainbow described in Revelation 4:3, which surrounds the divine throne. This connection suggests that ATLAS represents not judgment, but invitation, a cosmic call to expand our understanding beyond purely material explanations. The fact that Atlas will be most visible during traditional seasons of spiritual reflection and renewal supports its role as a catalyst for consciousness expansion rather than destruction. Divine communication often comes through natural phenomena that carry deeper symbolic meaning. As Atlas approaches its maximum activity phase, we may witness phenomena that can no longer be explained through conventional scientific models. The perihelion event could reveal aspects of cosmic reality that force acknowledgement of non-material dimensions of existence. If Atlas continues to exhibit impossible characteristics, energy output without explanation, chemical signatures that violate natural law, behavior that suggests intelligent guidance, even skeptical scientists may be forced to consider explanations beyond materialistic frameworks. The public is already noticing discrepancies between official explanations and observed phenomena. Social media discussions about Atlas increasingly question why mainstream science seems reluctant to address the most anomalous aspects of this object's behavior and composition. Religious communities worldwide are taking notice of ATLAS's biblical connections and preparing their members for possible revelations about humanity's place in a cosmos that includes non-material intelligence. The intersection of science and spirituality may soon become unavoidable. The approaching Jupiter encounter in March 2026 could provide the final proof needed to confirm Atlas's supernatural characteristics. If the object exhibits behavior during this encounter that defies gravitational models, even skeptics may have to acknowledge non-physical causation. Ancient texts often describe time itself as approaching a crucial transition point when time shall be no more, not meaning time stops, but that linear time gives way to a different mode of existence where past, present, and future intersect in new ways. Atlas carries material that's billions of years old, yet it's arriving at the perfect moment to serve as a cosmic wake-up call for humanity. This convergence of ancient matter with present circumstances suggests that time itself may be more fluid and purposeful than materialistic science assumes. The Hebrew concept of kairos, divine timing rather than chronological time, may explain Atlas's precisely orchestrated arrival. Rather than random cosmic wandering, ATLAS may represent the universe's built-in timing mechanism for delivering cosmic communications at exactly the right moments. Biblical prophecy describes the last days as a time when signs in the sun, moon, and stars would announce major transitions. Atlas is providing exactly such signs, arriving when humanity has developed the technological capability to observe and analyze its message. The approach of Hebrew year 5786, 2025 to 2026, has significance in Jewish eschatology as a potential transition year when cosmic and earthly realities converge. Atlas's appearance during this time frame may be more than coincidental. As we approach Atlas's perihelion and maximum activity phase, we stand at a unique moment in human history. Never before have we possessed the technological capability to analyze a genuine cosmic messenger while simultaneously having access to ancient prophetic texts that may describe exactly what we're witnessing. Atlas represents more than just an astronomical curiosity. It's a convergence of cosmic phenomenon and prophetic fulfillment that may herald a new phase of human understanding about our place in a universe that includes dimensions beyond the purely physical. The green fire of Atlas, burning without natural explanation, mirrors the biblical descriptions of divine light that illuminates without consuming. As this mysterious visitor reaches its moment of maximum revelation, it may provide proof that the universe operates according to principles that transcend materialistic science. Whether Atlas represents the Wormwood of Revelation, Enoch's green star of judgment, or Ezekiel's cosmic messenger, one thing is certain: we're witnessing phenomena that our ancestors somehow knew would appear in our time. The question isn't whether Atlas has prophetic significance, it's whether we have the wisdom to understand the message it carries. The cosmic clock is ticking toward a moment of unprecedented disclosure. Atlas may be the key that unlocks humanity's understanding of our true cosmic citizenship and our destiny among the stars. The green light racing toward our sun carries with it the potential to transform not just our science, but our entire understanding of reality itself. As Atlas blazes through its final approach, it reminds us that the universe is far more mysterious, purposeful, and spiritually significant than mainstream science dares to acknowledge. The ancient prophecies may be about to receive their most spectacular confirmation yet.